was like here, but we did get a lot of people from around the neighborhood. Hey, Patty.
Hey, Jim.
So I just want to introduce a couple people here. If there's some people here who haven't met everyone coming to talk to us today. This is Marsha Stickford.
That's right. I work out of the city manager's office.
Also Jackie Stepp, officer for this district.
As a representative of the city, I really want to let you all know that we understand how important the River Arts District is to the city. Jackie, what happened this past week was Jackie brought some things to my attention that I kind of saw, but I was able, with the information that she gave me, also to talk to folks in our building safety department. And as a result of Melissa getting in touch with Jackie and also some of the incidents, what we're in the process of trying to do is kind of take a more comprehensive look at the Ice House property and the impact that it's having on the community, and to see what kinds of strategies we can come up with, kind of short-term and long-term, to deal with the problems that are occurring because that site is neglected. And what we're doing is we'll have somebody. Steph Munson has been our brownfields coordinator. It'll be a real comprehensive meeting, so we can just kind of lay out from the different department standpoint what have been the issues with that site and what are the strategies that we can use. Because the fact of the matter is we're using a lot of resources. The police come down on a regular basis, building safety clearly comes down and has done inspections on the buildings. So we just need to kind of reorient our approach and our resources and see if we can come up with something that's more effective.
What about petitioning it to have it demolished? Is that a possibility?
There is a process where buildings can be condemned and the city will tear them down and then they put a lien against the property. What I'm hearing is that it would be really expensive to take down that site. So I don't know if that's going to be an option.
I think just boarding it up to where people can't get inside seems the easiest and fastest.
Well, they always tear the boards off.
It doesn't stay.
That doesn't work.
So I think.
Is it publicly owned?
No, it's not. It's private property.
And are they not responsible for
Expensive to tear down.
Yeah, they're responsible for boarding it up. It just requires, a lot of vigilance. If you see anything that seems suspicious to you, it's really okay to call the non-emergency police number and report it. Because what it will mean is a patrol car will come down and check it out, and if it's nothing,
But it's constant. It's every day you see something sketchy. A car parked, people walking in the woods, people walking down the tracks. It's every day. I work down here, and I'm here every day, often 6-7 days a week, and it's constant.
Yeah.
It's absolutely constant. My partner works across the river, and he says 3 or 4 days out of the week, he pulls up to the driveway of the shop, and there's beer cans and condoms in their driveway. It's like, is he going to call every single time? I mean, this is
or you can send an email. You've got my email. Jackie's is jstepp@ashevillec.gov. Send us an email. I think we recognize that there is a pattern of problems down here that we need to help with, and that's part of why I'm here. Just like.
I mean, is it a situation where like the city could really, if we just had one traco and just knocked the walls in and left it, just like made it so people couldn't go inside of it, it's just a big pile of rubble. If they don't want to pay to have everything moved away, maybe they can just cave it in. That'd be a lot cheaper.
You can't do that on public. There's a process that the city has to go through. If the building were to get condemned, there's a legal property. I mean, if you own property, you don't want somebody coming on it and knocking over your building either. So together. If the data supports that it's a nuisance property, then we'll go down a road. But what you have to
How far
understand
along,
is
I mean, how long is that process from initiating?
it takes a while. North Carolina is a state that really protects property rights, and so there's legal steps that have to be taken. What I don't know is how far down that road we've gone in terms of inspections and notifications and things like that.
So if we work with you on this and we get like the petition and maybe give you a little bit of time, or maybe
You know, the estimate I'm hearing is that it could be upwards of $500,000. And the fact of the matter is, there is no funding. I mean, it's not like we have a pot of money in this.
Marsha, I have an idea for another approach. Rather than having the city try to demolish the building, maybe we can identify the owners. It's a family that owns it. They can't get together. And maybe all of us should do a write-in campaign and constantly write for the owners, telling them what a problem this is.
And that may be a good strategy, and I would appreciate it if you'd give us time to kind of do our fact finding and figure out what the status is and where we are, because that might be a really great strategy.
I'll just make mine short and sweet and piggyback off what Marsha's saying. I guess everybody knows by now what happened to Jinx's truck and all the damage that was done. We were down here Thursday night doing an operation out back, and it just so happens that it happened Friday night and not Thursday night when we were here, which is kind of the way it goes with law enforcement. It's being in the right place at the right time. So my partner and I, there's two of us in the Community Resource Officer position, and what we're going to do next week is probably start splitting a 3 to 3 shift. He'll cover 3 a.m., then I'll come in at 3 a.m. and pick up from there and see if we can at least start charging the graffiti people and putting some leads together for the damage and whatnot. So I just want y'all to know that we are working on that, and we have been, and we've been working with Jolene and Chase and Listen and interviewing Louise and different people trying to figure out who was here Friday night and whatnot. Jolene's been awesome working with us just in the last week. We appreciate that. And community support is amazing, and it's amazing what community can do outside of what law enforcement can do, because you guys see what I don't see. People don't do stuff in front of me in this uniform, they do it for you. So anytime you see anybody, call. I mean, if it's 5 times in an hour, well, call. I mean, it's what gets officers down here. I can ask officers all day, come walk the railroad, come check, come check. And thank goodness they actually did last night at 2:30 in the morning, but I don't know that they're out there. Unfortunately, I don't work 24 hours a day. Or fortunately.
Did something happen last night?
Do what?
Did something happen last night?
Just law enforcement. Yeah. Melissa saw them on the track with their flashlights looking, so that's good. But you guys need to be our eyes, let us know what's going on.
If you haven't posted your properties for trespassing, you should talk to Jackie about doing that, because that gives the police the ability to come on your property if they happen to be driving by and they see something suspicious.
I think Wick's just saying we should all shine lights at his house so he can find his keys at night.
If there are lighting issues on the street and that the police department can come out and deem that there is a nuisance problem there, we can request to do the energy or repower, whatever it is. If there's already a pole there, maybe to add another light. Doesn't always happen, but we do have that authority to make that request. But just know that we're, my partner and I, instead of just addressing the damage to Jinx's vehicles and whatnot here in the biofield, we're looking at the graffiti issues, the vandalism, the suspicious person, the homeless, the ice house. We're going to really address everything, and which is something that I have not done at this point in my career. So I'm looking forward to addressing the community as a whole and seeing what